Bruce Lee is standing in front of 25 Special Forces soldiers when a Vietnam veteran with 3 combat tours stands up and says, "I have seen real death, and these movie moves will not save us." What happens in the next 4 seconds does not just silence the room. It earns Bruce Lee the one thing no civilian has ever earned from these men: respect. Fort Bragg, North Carolina, September 1969, Wednesday afternoon. 2:30 p.m., the Special Forces Training Facility, a concrete building with no windows, the kind of place that does not officially exist, the kind of place where men learn to do things that never appear in any report. 25 soldiers sit on wooden benches, Green Berets, Special Forces, the most elite warriors the United States military produces. Every man in this room has killed. Every man in this room has watched friends die. Every man in this room has seen things that would break ordinary people. They are here because someone in Washington decided they need hand-to-hand combat training. Someone who has never been to Vietnam. Someone who thinks martial arts movies translate to jungle warfare. The soldiers think this is a waste of time. They have M16s. They have grenades. They have air support and artillery and napalm. They do not need a Hollywood martial artist teaching them to kick. Bruce Lee stands at the front of the room. 28 years old, 5'7", 135 pounds, wearing a simple black t-shirt and black pants. No uniform, no rank, no authority in this room except whatever he can earn in the next 60 minutes. He looks at the men looking at him, reads the room, skepticism, hostility, the quiet anger of warriors forced to sit through something they consider beneath them. In the front row sits Staff Sergeant Robert Miller, 6'2", 210 pounds, 3 tours in Vietnam, a Silver Star, 2 Bronze Stars, a Purple Heart from the shrapnel still lodged near his spine. His chest could hold more medals, but he stopped wearing them. Said they felt like tombstones for the men who did not come home. Miller has been in combat for 4 years. Real combat, not training exercises, not demonstrations, the kind of combat where you smell death before you see it, where the enemy does not announce himself, where 1 second you are walking through jungle and the next second half your squad is gone. He looks at Bruce Lee the way a lion looks at a house cat, curious, dismissive, wondering why this small creature is wasting his time. Bruce begins his demonstration, shows a technique for disabling an enemy silently. A chokehold that cuts blood flow to the brain, unconscious in 4 seconds, dead in 12 if you hold it. The soldiers watch. Some take notes. Most do not. They have their own ways of killing silently, ways that work, ways proven in actual combat. They do not need a movie star teaching them theory. After 10 minutes, Miller stands up, does not ask permission, does not wait to be acknowledged, just stands. The room shifts. When Miller moves, everyone pays attention. "Mr. Lee, may I speak?" Bruce nods. Of course. Miller walks to the front of the room, stands next to Bruce. The size difference is notable, but not extreme. Miller is bigger, Bruce is smaller. But there is something else, an energy. 2 dangerous men occupying the same space. Miller addresses the room first, then Bruce. "I have spent 4 years in Vietnam. 3 tours. I have killed men with my hands, with my knife, with my rifle, with whatever was available when the shooting started." He turns to face Bruce directly. "I have seen things you cannot imagine. Watched boys younger than you bleed out calling for their mothers. Held my friends while they died because medevac could not reach us in time. Buried men in shallow graves knowing the enemy would dig them up for souvenirs." The room is silent. These are not stories. These are memories. Fresh wounds that never fully heal. Miller continues. "The Viet Cong do not fight like your movies. They do not announce themselves. They do not bow before attacking. They hide in tunnels and wait for you to walk past, and then they cut your throat from behind. They rig children with explosives. They poison water supplies. They fight to win, not to look good." He steps closer to Bruce. "These techniques you are showing us, they are beautiful, they are impressive. In a controlled environment against a cooperative opponent, they probably work perfectly." His voice hardens. "But in the jungle, in the dark, when you are exhausted and terrified and your hands are shaking because you have not slept in 3 days. These movie moves will not save us. They will get us killed. He looks at Bruce with something like pity. I mean, no disrespect. You are clearly skilled at what you do. But what you do and what we do are not the same thing. We do not need Hollywood. We need survival. The soldiers murmur agreement. Miller speaks for all of them, says what they were all thinking. The civilian does not understand, cannot understand, has never felt the weight of real combat. Bruce listens to everything, does not interrupt, does not defend, just absorbs. When Miller finishes, Bruce asks one question. May I respond? Miller shrugs. It is your demonstration. Bruce looks at the room, at 25 men who have seen more death than most people can comprehend, men who have earned the right to be skeptical, men who will not be impressed by speed or technique or reputation. He speaks quietly. No performance, no showmanship, just truth. You are right. The room stills. They did not expect agreement. Everything you said is correct. The techniques I show in demonstrations are designed for controlled environments. They assume you are rested, focused, fighting one opponent who follows predictable patterns. Combat is none of those things. He pauses. But I'm not here to teach you techniques. Techniques are tools. You have tools, better tools than most. M16S grenades, air support. You do not need another tool. Then why are you here? Bruce looks at Miller directly. I am here to teach you one thing, the thing that determines whether your tools work or fail, the thing that keeps you alive when everything else breaks down. What thing? Reaction without thought. Miller's eyes narrow. Listening now. Actually listening. Bruce continues. You describe the Viet Cong. They hide, they wait, they attack without warning. By the time you know they are there, you have less than 1 second to respond. 1 second. No time to think, no time to plan, no time to remember your training. He moves slightly, a subtle shift of weight. In that 1 second, your body will do one of two things. It will freeze, or it will act. If it freezes, you die. If it acts, you might live. The question is, what does your body do when your mind has no time to decide? Miller is quiet. This is different. This is not Hollywood philosophy. This is the language of survival. Your rifle training taught you to shoot without thinking, thousands of repetitions until the weapon becomes part of your body. You do not aim, you point. The bullet goes where you look because your hands know what to do without being told. Bruce raises his hands slowly. I am here to give your hands the same knowledge without a weapon. So when your rifle jams, when you are out of ammunition, when the enemy is too close for firearms, your body knows what to do, not because you think about it, because you have trained it so many times that thinking is unnecessary. Miller studies Bruce. The skepticism still there, but mixed with something else now. Interest. Show me. Bruce nods. Attack me. Miller almost laughs. You want me to attack you? Yes, the way Viet Cong would attack. No warning, no rules, maximum aggression, try to kill me. The room leans forward. This is what they came for, not demonstrations, reality. Miller does not hesitate, does not give warning, does not telegraph. He explodes forward. 4 years of combat experience compressed into one violent movement, his right hand going for Bruce's throat, his left hand reaching for control, his body weight committed to ending this fast and permanent. 4 seconds. In the first second, Miller's hands reach for Bruce. Bruce is not there. A fractional movement to the left. Miller's attack finds empty air, his momentum carrying him forward. In the second, Bruce is behind Miller, his right arm snaking around Miller's throat, not a choke, a control position, his left hand securing the lock. Miller's forward momentum used against him. In the third second, Miller tries to counter, throws an elbow back. Bruce shifts, the elbow misses. Bruce's position tightens, Miller's air supply reducing, not gone, reduced, controlled. In the fourth second, Bruce releases, steps back, hands up showing he is done. Miller stumbles forward, catches himself, turns around. He is not hurt, not injured, not even winded. But he was controlled, completely, by a man 60 pounds lighter who used his own attack against him. The room is silent. Miller stares at Bruce. Something has changed in his eyes, the skepticism gone, replaced by recognition, one warrior acknowledging another. How did you do that? I did not do anything. You attacked. Your momentum created the opportunity. I simply was not where you expected me to be. Bruce addresses the room. Staff Sergeant Miller is one of the most dangerous men I have ever faced. His attack was fast, committed, lethal intent. In combat, that attack would kill most people. He looks at Miller with genuine respect. But his body has been trained to kill with weapons, with distance. His hands reach for my throat because that is what hands do when weapons are not available. It is instinct, good instinct, but predictable instinct. He raises a finger. I am here to give you more options, to train your instincts for situations your weapons cannot solve, not to replace what you know, to add to it. Miller rubs his throat, not injured, just remembering the feeling of being controlled, that thing you did, moving without me seeing. How long does it take to learn? Years to master, weeks to begin. But you do not need to master it. You need to survive. Survival requires less than mastery. It requires enough speed, enough awareness, enough trained instinct to create 1 second of advantage. He looks at the room. 1 second is the difference between living and dying. I cannot give you 10 seconds. I cannot make you unbeatable, but I can give you 1 second. And in combat, 1 second is everything. And Miller turns to his men. Everyone pay attention. This is no longer optional. He looks back at Bruce. Teach us. Bruce teaches for 6 hours, not 1 hour. 6. The soldiers request extension after extension. They drill the movements until their bodies ache, until the techniques begin to feel natural, until reaction starts to replace thought. Miller becomes Bruce's training partner for the remaining demonstrations, takes every hit, feels every technique, learns by being defeated over and over until he stops being defeated. 3 months later, Miller returns to Vietnam, his 4th tour. Volunteers because his men need experienced leadership, because the war is not over and someone has to go. 2 weeks into the tour, his squad is ambushed. Night attack. Viet Cong emerging from spider holes. Chaos, gunfire, screaming. Miller's rifle jams. A malfunction. The enemy soldier is 3 feet away. Knife raised. No time to clear the jam. No time to draw his sidearm. No time to think. His body moves. The technique Bruce taught him. Redirect the knife. Control the arm. Strike the throat. 4 seconds. The enemy falls. Miller survives the ambush. 7 of his 12 men survive. Without that 4 seconds, none of them would have. He writes Bruce a letter 3 weeks later. Does not say much. Just 2 sentences. The movie moves saved my life. Thank you for giving me that 1 second. Bruce keeps the letter in his desk until he dies, shows it to very few people. When asked about his proudest achievement, he never mentions movies, never mentions fame, never mentions the celebrity students or the magazine covers. He mentions a soldier in Vietnam who survived because his hands knew what to do when his mind had no time to decide. That is what Bruce Lee taught, not performance, survival. What happens when your tools fail? When your plans collapse, when you have 1 second to act and no time to think, your body will do what it has been trained to do. The question is, what have you trained it to do? 4 seconds in a concrete room at Fort Bragg, a lifetime of survival in a jungle 10,000 miles away. That is the difference between movies and reality. Movies end when the credits roll. Reality continues until you stop breathing. Bruce Lee understood the difference, and for one soldier in Vietnam, that understanding meant everything.